When I was in college, I was introduced to a thought experiment. It's called the Schrodingers Cat experiment. The concept behind the experiment is both simple and complex. You take a box. Inside that box, there is a mechanism. The mechanism works this way. There is a radioactive atom that has a 50% chance of decaying. The mechanism checks to see if the atom has decayed, and if the atom has decayed, releasing radiation, it causes a vial of poisonous gas to be released into the box. Into the box, you placed, you guessed it, a cat, commonly referred to as Schrodinger's cat. Now, you close the box. In the classical or real-world way of thinking, the cat is either alive or dead. We can't know which until we open the box. But quantum mechanically, the cat is actually neither alive nor dead. It's in what they call a superposition of states, of being both alive and dead, until we open the box and thus collapse the waveform, making the cat either alive or dead. That may sound crazy, but the same principle is used to run your computer. You wouldn't be seeing me if that didn't work. Pittsburgh Steelers fans know exactly how that feels, because right now, our starting quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, is in a superposition of states. On his 28th birthday, he decided to climb into a box, figuratively speaking. Inside this box, he's either innocent. Honestly, officer, she was just drinking very heavily. There was a step, and I tried to warn her, but she just either didn't hear me, but then I saw her stumble, and I ran, but I just couldn't catch her in time. Or, guilty. Yeah, she fell. Into my fist! With a cologne! We, the public, cannot see inside the box because, as you know, there are always 4 sides to every story. His side, her side, the truth, and what the media tells us. So when a Steelers fan looks at the situation, they see a superposition of states. They're hoping that Ben is innocent. And then for some reason she jumped up and started yelling, "I won the lottery! I won the lottery!" But they're worried that he's guilty. Into my fist, you get it? She fell into my, you get it? We'd like to look forward to a year where he has another 4,000-yard season. But it's still hard to say, hey, Ben Roethlisberger, what a great quarterback. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Because he might not be going to the Hall of Fame if this doesn't play out right. And the only lesson you could take from this is that in many cases, perception is reality. And what you could have done, or what it looks like you did, may be as dangerous as something you might have actually done, even if you didn't do it. So you have to be that much more careful. Put another way, if you're not going to ask, what would Jesus do, at least ask, what would Peyton do? Well, I guess my buddy Alex was right. You do need to have trustworthy backups. Thank God for Charlie Batch, Dennis Dixon, and Antoine Randall, quarterback in college, you know, tremendous option player. We find Santonio Holmes in a similar box, so to speak. Did you hear about Santonio's new touchdown celebration? He's going to take the football, start to take a drink out of it, and then chuck it at the nearest cheerleader. Again, we can't tell what happened. Did he actually throw a glass at a girl? Did he try to splash her with his drink and then the glass slipped? Did another girl throw the drink and say, no, he did it? We can't tell. Apparently they went home together, so they made up, and then she got mad afterwards. But is any of that true? I can't. All I know is the 4th state. What the media tells us. I can't tell what's going on. So once again, I'm hoping that Santonio Holmes will have another great year, but I'm also hoping he's not a complete jerk. Boys and girls, you gotta watch yourself out there. Please be careful. If I'm Mike Tomlin, the next Steelers player I see anywhere near a bar is getting traded to the Redskins. Speaking of which, how about that Donovan McNabb? Happy Easter, Donovan. Really, this was the only way it could go for Donovan, because it fits with the rest of his career. First of all, he came into the league with expectations that no human being could meet, no matter how incredible or talented. Then, when he failed to meet these unrealistic expectations, the entire world came down upon him. Then, having gone to 5 championships and a Super Bowl with his team trades him to another team in their division. Almost as if to say, you know what? Not only are you not good enough to play here, but we're confident we can kick your tail twice a year. Now, I saw the interview with Andy Reid, and Andy Reid said that this was one of the teams that Donovan would be happy to go to, and that played a factor in their decision. And if they're willing to make the decision to play Donovan twice a year, even though he knows all their plays and all their players, what they're going to do next, well, I guess it's just a rebuilding year, and if they could cut him, they do owe him that. I will say that. Then I guess the trade could be considered an honorable act. Still, you got to keep Donovan in your prayers, because I know he expected to retire as an Eagle, and now he feels marooned. I guess the big question for the upcoming season may be, which team will get a bigger boost from a player that has something to prove? The Washington Redskins with Donovan McNabb, or the New York Jets with LaDainian Tomlinson? The Jets look like they could have an awesome team there if LaDainian runs the way we know LaDainian has been able to run in the past. And I'm going to be watching the Jets this year, especially if things go south with Ben. Does this mean I have to stop telling all those Dallas Cowboys jokes? We find Santonio. Let's really do this. Let's throw some quantum at him. Some quantum, I tell you. Hit him with some quantum mechanics, I say. Just hit him with the quantum. Okay.